What is up, YouTube? It's your boy The Walk 71, replace Day with a 4, and I am here with my review on the 2016 WWE Draft, the start of a new era almost. This tonight, well, this video is coming out tomorrow, but tonight, man, Smackdown was great. Pure good wrestling matches, good storyline investment, I guess. But mainly, this first live Smackdown was basically focused on the draft for the new rosters for this new era thing they're doing. The draft was pretty good. It was some picks that I was iffy about, and then the NXT picks were very not surprising, but some of them were great. Let me get into the rules first. The rules consisted of Raw getting the first pick because Raw is the juggernaut. It's their top show. Raw gets the first pick. Since SmackDown is 2 hours, they get 2 draft picks. And since Raw is 3 hours, they get 3 draft picks. One tag team counts as a draft pick unless a commissioner / general manager decides to split the teams up and pick one person over another. And 6 picks are coming off of the NXT roster, meaning people from NXT are coming up to the main roster now, immediately. So let's get right into it. So the Raw roster consists now of Seth Rollins, Charlotte, Finn Balor, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, The New Day, Sami Zayn, Sasha Banks, Chris Jericho, Rusev with Lana, Kevin Owens, Enzo and Big Cass, Gallows and Anderson, The Big Show, Nia Jax, Neville, Cesaro, Sheamus, The Golden Truth, Titus O'Neil, Paige, Darren Young, Sin Cara, Jack Swagger, The Dudley Boys, Summer Rae, Mark Henry, Braun Strowman, yes, Bo Dallas, The Shining Stars, Primo and Epico, Alicia Fox, Dana Brooke, and Curtis Axel. This is currently the Raw roster right now, excluding all the people who are hurt right now because they didn't get drafted. Now, a lot of these picks are good. You have a lot of main event stars. You have the future of the WWE. They have to be on the main show because the thing about Raw is it's going to continue to evolve into the show, and it has to continue to evolve with new people, new faces. When Raw first started, the new faces were like, I don't even know who was like the main eventers of Raw. I forgot, because by that time Hogan was in WCW, but like the main eventers are probably, I'm guessing maybe Shawn Michaels was evolving into, like, you know, the main event star of Raw. Then it would evolve to the Attitude Era. You have Stone Cold and The Rock. You know, Triple H would get into there. The Ruthless Aggression Era. You had Triple H. You had Triple H, Chris Benoit, Shawn Michaels. A lot of main event people to continue to evolve. You have the beginning of the PG era, John Cena, Randy Orton, and now this, you have Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. Those are the 2 guys that are like gonna be the future of the WWE. So you have to always keep the future main eventers, or I guess the current main eventers, on Raw, because Raw has to keep evolving. It has to keep evolving with new faces. So some of these picks, like Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, is good. Another great pick, Finn Balor, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. I'm guessing they're breaking up the club after Battleground. I'm guessing Gallows and Anderson are going to either walk out on AJ to be with Finn Balor, or they're going to turn on AJ. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think they're just going to walk away from him, and then AJ gets beat up. He's still heel. We see Cena versus AJ at SummerSlam. Now, Raw also is having a cruiserweight division, if you all forgot when they announced it. So I'm guessing they got some cruiserweights, or a cruiserweight that could work. They have Neville. I guess if you can consider Sin Cara a cruiserweight. I would rather have them have Kalisto if they're gonna have the cruiserweight division. But hey, it's cool. You have Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Dana Brooke. Those are some of the like major female competitors that's gonna be on the Raw roster, and only Finn Balor and Nia Jax were called up from NXT on the actual main show on Raw. that shows how much what's the word? How much stock WWE has in those two. How much stock WWE has in those two, and how much confidence to know that they're gonna do great on the main roster, honestly. Nia Jax, she's going to do well on the main roster. She did well in NXT. Finn Balor's going to do well. He's a main event guy in NXT. Now, as I look at the rest of these rosters, a lot of them, like, I don't know why Braun Strowman is on Raw. I guess he's going to break away from the Wyatts, and he's just going to be his own guy, and Vince is probably going to make him a main eventer because why not, right? Let me think. Let me look at some more. You got Brock. You got the New Day. They're going to bring in ratings. You have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Hopefully, they don't feud with each other. I want to see new feuds between them. You have Rusev. As I'm looking, you got Rusev, Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho. Let me look. I'm looking. You have Sheamus. I'm just looking at all the heels that they have to kind of balance out with the faces that they have. And at the beginning, Raw had a nice roster, and then towards the end, some of the picks they got from the network draft picks just didn't make sense. It was just like, oh, we got to pick them because that's what's left. Raw has a good roster. Their roster is nice. SmackDown has a good roster too. Now let's get into the SmackDown roster. SmackDown picked your WWE champion, Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles, John Cena, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, Becky Lynch, The Miz with Maurice, Baron Corbin, American Alpha, Dolph Ziggler, Natalya, Alberto Del Rio, The Usos, Kane, Kalisto, Naomi, The Ascension, Zack Ryder, Apollo Crews, Alexa Bliss, Breezango, Eva Marie, The Vaudevillains, Eric Rowan, Mojo Rawley, and Carmella. Now, SmackDown's roster has great people. It has people that you can build for the future. You have Dean Ambrose, and then they have more people. They have main eventers or people that can bring in numbers based off of their name. Cena, Orton. People are going to watch SmackDown just for those two because Cena and Orton are respectively legends now, and they're still doing their thing. So if you want to see these guys, you have to watch SmackDown. For Raw, we all know everybody's going to watch Raw. It's the number one show. The reason nobody watched SmackDown is because it was basically Raw. People didn't really like Raw, and it was basically replicating SmackDown was replicating Raw because it had all the same people from there. They just would do nothing. But now, since Raw is always going to be watched because it's their top show, SmackDown needs people in order to get viewers. So they get Randy Orton and John Cena. Now, I don't want to see a Randy Orton versus John Cena feud again. That's so like 2008, maybe 9, 10, around there. But their roster is pretty stacked. Listen, their women's division is pretty nice too. They have Becky Lynch, Natalya. They got Naomi. I'm trying to look at the rest of it. You got Maurice, I guess, if she wants to be a wrestler again. But the thing about the women's division is whoever the women's champion, they're going to go to both shows to defend their title. So it's not really a disadvantage of who has more women than the other because they're all still fighting for one title. Just like the tag team I cannot talk today. Just like the tag team division, they're all fighting for one title. But for like other people who are fighting for the world title, they might bring back another title for SmackDown. I don't know. The NXT people that were called up, we have American Alpha. We kind of knew they were going to the main roster. It was obvious. They lost their titles, lost the rematch. Now they're having a match with, I believe, the Authors of Pain sometime soon. Probably going to lose that and then be more focused on the main roster. It was a good pick, American Alpha. Here's the thing about SmackDown. They have a lot of tag teams. Like, Raw has some other... They have some tag teams, but SmackDown really has some teams. As I'm looking, you have American Alpha, one of the NXT call-ups. You have Alexa Bliss, somebody that, in my opinion, has been underutilized in NXT. I feel like she could have done a lot better, but she's going to do great on the main roster. She's going to have a lot of shine. We have Mojo Rawley, because why not? Him and Zack Ryder are going to probably reunite the Hype Bros because Zack Ryder is on SmackDown too. You have Carmella. I don't know why she's on SmackDown. She should be on Raw just so she could be with Enzo and Big Cass, but I can tell WWE wants Carmella to have her own career, I guess. So she's going to be on there. The rest of these picks, you know, you have a lot of people in here, and you could build a brand with these guys. Dean Ambrose, right? You have AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose. Right? Those are two guys that can do work. And then you have future people on here. You have Becky Lynch, who's going to be great one day. You have the American Alpha, who are going to be great one day. You have other people that are going to push to like help other stars. You have Baron Corbin, okay? Baron Corbin, he's going to be like the next big thing one day, bro. I can tell because Baron Corbin is just a beast. You have Alberto Del Rio and Dolph Ziggler, who arguably have their best stuff on SmackDown. So maybe we can get a better Alberto Del Rio from like 2011, 2010, around there. We can get a better Dolph Ziggler maybe. I hope so. I really don't care about Dolph Ziggler, but if we can get a better version of him than what we currently got, that'd be great because his best stuff was on SmackDown. So both shows have great rosters, have great people, you know, for a good. Both shows are reliable. They have stars. They have people to watch. And I honestly feel like this brand split was a good thing for WWE. We needed this because a lot of people weren't getting shine because you have Raw and SmackDown. They have the same rosters. They're going to be flooded with the same people. So a lot of other people are not going to get shine. And now people are going to get their shine. You have Apollo Crews who might be able to get a little bit of shine. I can tell WWE, they can push him, but they have to give Apollo Crews a character. Apollo Crews needs a character. That's just me. He needs a character. He's just a flip bald black guy. That's what I've gotten from Apollo Crews. He doesn't have any character, but they have future talent there too. Raw has future talent. SmackDown has future talent. Raw has, you know, some not old people, but they have people that are like main eventing now and people that have been in there. Both shows look strong. I can't wait till, you know, next week when they both are on and I get to watch them both. This is like the first time I'm watching SmackDown like seriously since like, I don't know. But yeah, the draft was great. SmackDown as a show was great. Yeah, that's the end of the video, guys. Like, comment, favorite, subscribe. Do what you do to support me. Follow me on all of my social media sites in the description below. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Peace.